Suhaib ibn Sinaan was born to a wealthy family, the son of the governor of a territory of a Persian empire, in what we call it today, Iraq. He was a very happy child who had everything he wished, and he was very intelligent and he was very well educated. But one day, while he was out with his mother and other women and children from his community, they were attacked by the Roman invader, and who captured many of them and sold Suhaib into slavery. Suhaib grew up in a Roman land, and he adopted their language, and he had an accent of a Roman accent. And Suhaib was smart and also very funny, by the way, and was able to complete his education even though that he was a slave. Eventually, he was sold to Abdullah ibn Jidan from Mecca. Abdullah was so impressed by his intelligence and his smart, and he gave Suhaib his freedom and offered him to make him a partner with him in his trade business. Suhaib and Abdullah worked together from that day, and both became very wealthy and successful. Suhaib was not happy with the religion in Mecca and the people, the shirk, and all these idols. And he was searching for the truth. Eventually, it brought him to Dar al-Arqam, and he arrived one day, and at the same time of his friend Ammar ibn Yasir, he also was in the front of the door of Dar al-Arqam. And Ammar asked Suhaib, "What do you want?" And he said to him, "What do you want?" And he said, "I want to meet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to hear what he is saying." Suhaib said to him, "I want the same." Both enter and met the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when they heard the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he said to them, both of them convert to Islam in the same day. From that day, Suhaib became very close to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was known for being very pious and cheerful and generous. Once Omar told him that he was too generous, and that he was feeding people too much. But Suhaib replied, "I have heard the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, the best of you is the one who feeds the others." When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam decided to emigrate to Medina, Suhaib was supposed to be the third with Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiallahu anhu and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this trip. But however, he fell into one of the traps of the Quraysh and he was detained. Suhaib argued with them until he was able to get rid of them. Then he rushed to catch up with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Abu Bakr, but the Quraysh sent their hunters after him, and eventually they caught up with him. And when they caught up with him, Suhaib said, "If you try to kill me, I'll try to kill you too, and eventually one of us will die. But what about if I offer to give you all my wealth that I left behind in Mecca, and I'll tell you where I hide it?" They agreed to take his money, and they left to collect the money. They didn't even question his honesty, and they didn't take any precaution, simply because they know that he is honest. When Suhaib arrived to Medina, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was sitting around, surrounded with the Sahaba, the companion. As soon the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ saw Suhaib, he said, "Rabah al-bay'a Aba Yahya. Rabah al-bay'a Aba Yahya." A profitable sale, a profitable sale. Then Suhaib was very impressed that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ already knew what had happened, and was certain that Jibreel alayhi salam must have told him At that time, an ayah was revealed. وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَشْتَرِي نَفْسَهُ ابْتِغَاءَ مَرْضَاتِ اللَّهِ وَاللَّهُ رَؤُوفٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. And of mankind is who sell himself, seeking the pleasure of Allah, and Allah is the full of kindness to his slave. Years later, after the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ passed away, when Umar was the leader of the Muslim nation, the Ummah, Suhaib learned that the Umar had been stabbed, and he was unable to control his anger and the grief. And when the end was coming near to Umar chose Suhaib to lead the prayer until another Khalifa was chosen. Suhaib lived to the age of 70, and he is known as a narrator for over 30 hadiths. He buried in Medina. رضي الله عن أبو يحيى سهيب بن سنان والصحابة أجمعين والخلفاء الراشدين ورضي الله عنا معهم أجمعين. Until we meet again, I leave you in the protection of Allah. أترككم في رعاية الله. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.